Oh my goodness, that's pretty good. Bam. Well, okay, so this is actually very exciting. So right now we're on book number 15 of Ratlife University. I left the air conditioning on because I sweat profusely during these videos. When it's off, for the sake of the audio, we're not making the compromise today. Now, why this book is exciting. It's the second to last book of semester 2. That's not why. It's because this was the very first book I ever read on personal development. The very first one back in, I believe it was November of 2020. That's when I started my journey, my noble quest on improvement in personal development as it relates to literature. My development journey when it comes to fitness has been a quest we've been embarked on since June 25th, 2013. Now, the exciting part is, when I read the book, right, I was given the Christmas ornaments, the gold, but no tree, right? No tree. I was given the map, the treasure, but I didn't have, the means to cash in the loot. So and why this is very special to me is I get to share firsthand the greatest takeaways from this book, from my incredulous failures. So that in the hopes you at home do not make the same mistakes as I. They say he who learns from his own mistakes begins to, progress on his journey to betterment. He who learns from others' mistakes begins to become wise. And that's what we're trying to do here with this university is in life, I find you only learn things the hard way or the hardest possible way. And for me, it takes me touching the stove to know that it's hot, and I have to do it. I gotta touch the stove because sometimes I could be stupid. So that being said, I'm very excited for this book number 15 of Ratlife University. I have not that many notes. It's very thin. It's that little. So we're just gonna go, we're just gonna flow, and we're gonna get this done because it's already 6:38 and that alarm clock is set for 2:45 a.m. We're all gonna make it. Here we go. The 10x rule. In order to get to the next level of whatever you're doing, you must think and act in a wildly different way than you previously have been thinking. Whether your goal is to lose 10 pounds, write a book, or become a billionaire. And I wrote that down because I was like, how interesting. I'm currently on a prep right now. I weighed 189 this morning. So I think I have like 15 more pounds to lose, 15 to 19. I think at my leanest, the leanest I ever get to ever when I'm completely diced is 171 pounds. So I probably have 18 more pounds to lose. But I was like, that's interesting that's a goal. Write a book. I don't know if that's something that I'm currently working on or not. And then become a billionaire. Very interesting because it's so cool when you keep journal entries of your old goals. And my old goals was just a millionaire. I was a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And that offset against a billionaire, it's like, if you can do something one time, why can't you do it 1,000 times, right? If you can become a millionaire, why can't you make $1 million 1,000 times and therefore become a billionaire? I don't understand, right? And what's interesting is if you just expand the time horizon, a bigger goal all of a sudden becomes quite feasible. When I expanded the time horizon for Ratlife University, this noble quest that you see written on that wall of 1,000 books, the blue ones, the ones that we have done, those are 14. It's a finite number, but I was planning on doing it in 6 years. And then I was planning on doing it in 10 years. Then I was like, what if we just did it 100 semesters, 10 books a semester? I know these 2 semesters are going to be 8 books, and then we're going to up the ante. But then I have something special that I'm planning to do where we will be able to catch up from the 4 missed from the last 2 semesters to get to 1,000 in total. But 1,000 in total over the course of 100 semesters, 10 books a semester, 25 years. All of a sudden, I was like, if this is something that you work on, almost every single day for 2.5 decades, how does this not become $1 billion university, endowment, company, organization with this kind of vision and this kind of time horizon? And all of a sudden it becomes so reasonable. You know what I mean? So that's why I wrote that down. I thought it was very interesting because Grant Cardone has single-handedly had the greatest influence on me in terms of my financial mindset. And I shared this with his book, The Millionaire Booklet, that we finished. That's over here. Oh, I don't like pausing like this, but it's right here. The Millionaire Booklet that we went over. Earlier book in this very semester. And it was from a story where the whole mindset was a recurring quote from this book is success is your duty, responsibility, obligation, right? And people who don't understand that, they're neglecting to remember the other people in their life that they say they care about. And so when people say stupid shit like money doesn't matter, bro, or, you know, I just want to be happy, or just, and again, another perfect quote that Grant goes over in this book is people who will limit their potential success will also limit the amount of work required to achieve it. It's quite convenient, right? It's quite convenient to say that I don't want this, when that translates to whether they want to be honest or not. No, you don't want to do the fucking work required to get this, so you justify and rationalize why you don't, why it's okay that you quit or give up or don't even try to begin with. Those are victims, those are lazy, those are sloth. Fuck those people. The people enrolled in this university, your sole prerogative is improvement, is betterment, is growth, is you becoming your best self, so that in turn you have so much more to give others. You understand that this isn't about you, right? Life, it's not about what you get, it's about who you become and what you're able to give now that you've become more. Do you understand? So I love that sentiment with financial prosperity and pursuit, because understand, if you can't have the means to take care of your own self, to feed yourself, you're fucking useless to the people that you say you care about. How can you support your kids if you can't eat, right? How can you support your charity when you're broke, right? How can you provide for your family when you yourself are drowning? You understand? So number one, taking care of yourself, but then number two, understanding that by you having all of these other people who are relying on you, who are still going to be relying on you, how people don't have a sense of fire or urgency to level up, to grow, to become financially abundant is just, number one, I don't understand it. Number two, it's a severe lack of perspective. But number three, it's complete and utter selfishness. And that was the biggest mindset switch that I had to, the bridge that I had, the gap that I had to bridge in terms of my, mental outlook on finances and on money that Grant bridged for me. And he said, because I was under the, preconceived notion that people who pursue money are just about their own self-interest, are very greedy. That's all they give a shit about, is money and me, and, very greedy and that synonymous nature and of the like. However, then he put it into perspective, and then it made me understand that, no, it's about what you're able to give other people and other organizations by you becoming more, right? We're going to make a lot of money and we're going to do a lot of good. Do you understand? As in, you can't reach those people if you don't have the money to fund your advertising, to fund your marketing. And Simon Sinek says it very well. The reason you buy a car isn't to buy gas, right? But you need the gas to get you where you want to go. Money is the same thing in a business. The point of a business isn't to make money, but you need money to get you where you want to go, what your vision statement, what your why is. What is Ratlife's mission? Anyone can escape. Anyone, right? It starts with belief and the courage to pursue. Ratlife, we're all going to make it, right? How can I reach people around the world, right, to plant trees under whose shade I will never sit if nobody knows about me, if nobody knows about this university, right? And he discusses it in this book. The biggest problem you're going to face isn't your inferior product or service or your talent. It's obscurity. Nobody knows who you are, right? And the biggest thing that you're going to have to break through in your entrepreneurial journey that I learned the hard way with Ratlife, the supplement company, is attention and gaining attention from people. We live in a world where everyone is constantly distracted. Every time you go on social media, every time you go out your door, every time you turn on the radio, you turn on the TV, everyone is trying to get your attention. It's why all of these social media apps are free. They make money based on advertising. Do you understand? As in, you're the product. And so they are able to put their ads on you so that you buy their garbage. Do you understand? It's all a scam, in the sense of everyone in the world is trying to get your attention. And this is the beauty about this university, is you're never going to see me act like a fucking clown. You're never gonna see, I remember doing it in the first videos, like doing little skits and things for a couple of reasons. One, it was like fun, but also it helped me force the action. But I was just like, I'm just gonna smile, I'm just gonna fake it till I make it, until I'm able to get the ball rolling on these. And I remember when I first launched Ratlife University back in 2022, just for Instagram, I made the same, videos, and I would say, this is gonna be so stupid, this is gonna be whatever. Like, I would verbally put myself in the videos down, like I don't care, and I had an I don't care, F this mentality, but it was just to break down the wall of the insecurity, of the self-consciousness, of I'm just gonna, again, fake it till I make it until I'm able to gain traction and then to develop. But what I learned in reflection is that's a downward spiral where Andrew Tate verbalizes it very well. He's like, where it's a race to the bottom, where you see all these people on social media doing these stupid things, acting like fucking idiots to elicit attention. And I said, my name in this university is never going to be synonymous with that. My name in this university is going to be synonymous with the truth, with telling you what you don't want to hear, but what you need to hear. I want it synonymous with discipline, integrity, character, merit, work ethic, perseverance, truth. That's my name. That's Tarek Hawks, right? That's Ratlife. Do you understand? That anyone can escape. It starts with belief in the courage to pursue. We're all gonna fucking make it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And so in a world where everyone's doing all this stupidity and degeneracy and promiscuity, I'm gonna be the furthest thing from that. And I truthfully believe, there's a good quote by Tony Robbins. He says, we're living in a world where we're drowning in information and starving for wisdom. And I believe with AI, it's only gonna get worse, where the world is gonna become so fake and so much bullshit that people are going to crave authenticity. They're gonna crave long format content. They're gonna crave going to a place, right, where you're forced to be yourself, where you're forced to not conform to everybody else, and you're forced to keep your own uniqueness about you. And it's nothing but discussions and reflections and humility and casting your ego aside and just having that cordial discord of whatever the topic is. And so I love that idea. I love that idea that what I'm doing is creating a beautiful garden that other people will want to come and be attracted by and come into. And the most beautiful garden is the one that, number one, has the most beauty in it, but the one that gives the most beautiful things to all, right? That's why you would want to go there. It's as if you walk into a place and it's like, all of these gifts, all of this gold, this is for you. Here, take it. Yeah, it's yours. And that's what I'm trying to build. That's what I'm trying to create, is that culture and that environment where I'm the furthest thing from all of this garbage and all of the stupidity. And I believe in the future that people are going to get so sick of the get rich quick, get the six-pack abs in 2 weeks, all this stupid garbage that people put to clickbait attention, to get views, to make a quick buck. I'm only doing it for the long game, right? I'm only doing this based on truth and principle, which is just hard work consistently over time until, which he goes over in his book. Got it? Let's move on. People who limit their potential success will limit the amount of work necessary to attaining it. It's completely true. And they'll spin it in the guise of, I don't really want it. I hear it all the time with, I don't really want to travel. I don't really want to be rich. I don't really want to be wealthy. And it's like, no, it's not a priority. If you wanted to, you would. The fact is, you don't want to do the work necessary, right? The fact is, you continue to make excuses. You continue to feel sorry for yourself. You continue to spin the story, woe is me. People relive the tragedies that they've endured, that happened 5, 10, 15, 20 fucking years ago. And they're still playing. I have coworkers who do that. They'll bitch and moan about how bad their parent was or this, and it's just like, bro, that was 20 years ago and you're still harping on it. At what point are you gonna quit feeling fucking sorry for yourself, right? And I've always had that perspective and mindset, especially with people who are older than me. At some point you have to stop being the victim. At some point you have to quit feeling sorry for yourself and do something about it. And you don't have to, but that's the only way you're going to remedy your situation, to improve it, to grow, to heal, to develop, to move on, to move up, and on. But people like to live in that state of, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. Let me elicit sympathy from you so I get dopamine, right? People want to be coddled. In this university, if I haven't made it a crystal clear precedent, the greatest gift you can give someone that you love, is telling them to go fuck off. That's a gift. Coddling someone is doing them the biggest disservice. And you'll learn this, we went over this in the book, The Ultimate Gift, by Jim Stovall, where imagine a bird, a chick, is hatching for the first time, and it's like poking out of it, trying to break free, crack the egg open by itself. And you come over thinking you're doing it a favor by breaking the egg for it so that it can jump out, right? So that it can, you think you're doing it a service, until that same chick has to now go through hardship in the real world and then dies because it no longer it wasn't gifted the strength to overcome, to persevere, circumstance, hardship, adversity, because you remove that from them by fucking coddling them. And so they die. That's how the story, that lesson of the story goes. It's the same thing with parenting and children. My mom, perfect example of this, coddles the shit out of my little sister. And I learned this again, beautifully articulated by Andrew Tate, is it's about a threshold. If you don't know what real pain is, then the most minor of inconveniences will feel like tragedy to you. So it's so important to open yourself up and to be exposed to greater and greater pain and challenges. So, and that's the importance of introducing that consciously onto yourself, putting yourself through hard things, through physical resistance, so that when you go back to life is easy. The problem with most people's lives is, because their life is so easy, they have no resistance, they have no hardship, their life is hard. My mom, my little sister. Because my little sister hasn't had any actual problems, the most minor inconveniences that she has is tragic to her. And I vocalize it to my mom, but she won't listen because she's a great mother, horrific father. And this is the importance of having both, is as soon as you're not there to coddle them and they have to endure life's actual storms and tragedies, it's going to feel like tragedy for them as soon as they get a fucking parking ticket, or as soon as they, miss a rent payment or something, because you didn't give them the gift of not coddling them when they were younger. Let them scrape their knees, let them fall down, let them dust themselves off, get back up and try again. Help them cultivate work ethic and perseverance and how to overcome adversity. You don't get that through coddling. I hope I made that clear. And so you find that with the victims. You're doing them a disservice by validating their bullshit story. Tell them politely to go fuck themselves because you actually love them. Next. If you start any task with a mind toward limiting the potential outcome, you will limit the actions necessary to accomplish that very goal. Loved it. Mistakes. These were the biggest mistakes that I made with launching Ratlife, the supplement company, the pre-workout that I did. Severely underestimating the amount of action and work that it'll take. Severely underestimating the amount of adversity that you will face and need to overcome. Severely overestimating the amount of support you're going to receive. Those were the three biggest mistakes I made. So I started the business on a loan with my brother's credit card, which would amount to, in total, from principal interest and accrued interest that I promised to pay him back, right? $15,000. And for a 600 per unit purchase order of pre-workout, because most companies, they have what's called an MOQ, a minimum order quantity number that you need to buy in order to get your cost per unit down to whatever. And so $600, we were able to buy them for, by the time they were landed, it was like $20 per bottle. That's what I paid, that's what we paid for. So 600, that was 12K, and then plus the other 3K in terms of, I promised him 10% interest on the venture, and then I would pay back retroactively all the interest that his credit card would accrue over time. All mistakes that I made. I made so many mistakes. But the biggest one was overestimating the amount of support that I would get. because I got like 50 verbal yeses from friends and from, friends and Instagram acquaintances, and oh my gosh, you're launching this. Oh, it's pink Starburst. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes, of course I want to buy it. And so I had like 50 verbal yeses, which mean nothing. And then I had my brother and I had a couple of friends all in on this. And I was like, dude, we're gonna sell 300 the first month, literally sell 100 opening weekend. We'll net break even by month 2, and by month 3 we'll be cash flow positive. Dude, we'll net, by the time we sell through these 600, we'll net 20 grand. He's like, dude, I'm in, I'm sold. And what happened was we had 600 bottles of product, and the first month I sold 8 bottles. So imagine being minus $15,000, and you did 8 times 50, which is $400, I believe, if that math is, or 320. What's 8 times 4? Is that 32? $320 in sales. And then 20 of those, $20, half of the unit, because $20 was cost of unit, $10 was shipping to ship it to them. So the profit margin was 20, right? So take 20 and multiply it by 8. So $160 positive, negative $14,840. Why? Because I severely underestimated the amount of adversity that I would face. I needed to overcome. I severely underestimated the amount of action and work it was going to take, and I severely overestimated the amount of support that I was going to get. And again, this is the importance of this university, as in you're going to be given all of the Christmas ornaments, right? You're going to be given all the gold. They don't mean shit if you don't apply them, and if you don't have something to apply them towards, on, right? You need to have the experience. You need to have the Christmas tree. Do you understand? Otherwise, it's just words. Do you get it? So that's the beauty about doing this with the experience of entrepreneurship, with the experience of traveling the world. I get to now see, by rereading these, the literature, all of the gold that's there written plainly. But people only learn things, like I said, the hard way or the hardest possible way. So it's the unfortunate reality of the journey that if you want to venture in to being one of the wise, try to have the humility that you don't need to experience the failure and hardship yourself to learn. And you can learn from your professor, from Tariq Hawks, all right? Don't make the mistakes I did. Start a business on a loan, be negative 15,000, and then have to live in your car for 93 days to pay that off. You don't want to be that guy. But I don't regret any of it, not one. I only consider it a part of my hero's journey. And because I went through all of that hardship and adversity and trauma, and it's the reason, it's the bow and arrow analogy that I gave you. It's like first God, the universe, whatever you believe, before they elevate you, they have to wreck you. They have to separate you. They have to make you alone. You have to go through hell to reach your paradise. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people, they give up when it gets hard, and a lot of people, they want to throw in the towel. But Andrew, again, amazing influence on me, he said that the only reason Batman is because they killed his parents. And it's the same thing in any hero story. Every hero story you've ever heard of, the hero had to endure hardship and loss and heartbreak and adversity and tragedy and death, right? They had to endure all of this to become that hero they were born to be. Do you understand? But people, they don't see life as happening for them. These victims see life as happening to them, right? And so they don't see all the hardship as the literal means, the catalyst, the cooking, the materials to make the cake, right? All of the ingredients that you possibly need to turn your dream into reality. They don't view it as that. They view it as, oh my gosh, this is horrible, this is happening to me. But we went over this in one of our last books that we read. Crisis and opportunity are one and the same. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Crisis and opportunity, one and the same. And most people don't view it as that. They don't look for the opportunity. They don't ask themselves the humbling questions. How did this happen for me? Where am I being guided? No, it's this happened to me. I'm a victim. Woe is me. I'm going to bitch and moan and feel sorry for myself and do nothing to change, nothing about it, nothing to improve or level up or grow. You're not one of those people if you're enrolled in this university. Your sole prerogative. How can I improve? How can I be better? Fuck the rhetoric. That's just the way it is. right? We don't tolerate that. We don't accept that. There's always a way to improve, to overcome, to break through, to persist until. Got it? All right. A good quote. I want to reiterate it. A person who limits his or her potential success will limit what he or she will do to create it. Reflect on that. Next, as long as you are alive, you will either live to accomplish your own goals and dreams or be used as a resource to accomplish someone else's. Amazing quote. As in, if you do not have a plan, you will be used by someone else as a part of their plan. Understand that. As long as you're alive, you'll either live to accomplish your own goals and dreams or be used as a resource to accomplish someone else's. That's it. It's either you have a plan or you will be used by someone else as a part of their fucking plan. Get that clear. Next, never reduce a target. Increase your actions. I love that. Never reduce a target. Increase your actions. Simple. Any target attacked with enough action and persistence is attainable. And we learned this in the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I will persist until I succeed. The quote was, he had his I believe it was his camel boy. Was this The Richest Man in Babylon or was this The Greatest Salesman in the World? Failure will never overtake me, for I will persist until I succeed. You'd have to go back to one of the first books, but that was the quote that he told him to memorize. Failure will never overtake me so long as my persistence to succeed. So long as I persist until I succeed. I'm telling you, I'll say this from year 1 to year 25, the secret word is until. Belief, potential, action, results over time until. That's it. You just have to keep trying again. You just have to continue playing the game. If you continue to play the game, you can't lose. And in my reflections these past weeks, I was able to get some sense of pride and admiration that within myself, that anything I've ever done, I never quit. I never gave up. For better or for worse, I was like, I'm seeing this through. When I was an undergrad and I failed chemistry, I didn't drop I made it to the end. I didn't quit halfway. I was like, if I'm failing, I'm seeing this shit through for better or for worse, right? Anything I've ever done, whether it's a prep, I never stopped halfway and said, that's good enough. We removed that from our vocabulary. I made it all the way until the end. Do you understand? And any time I've ever done that, whether it was starting a business, whether it was a Euro trip, whether it was in terms of entrepreneurship and business, pivoting, as in I never gave up, I just tried again. This university substantiates that. Is within Ratlife, I could have given up when I did tarcalcs.com, when I did personal training, when I did online coaching, when I did apparel, when I did a supplement company, when I did the university the first time, when I've done YouTube before. I could have given up at any time when I did ebooks in the past, right? But I was like, no, I'm going to try again. I'm going to keep trying until, right? There's no amount of no, there's no amount of rejection, there's no amount of humiliation or criticism from other people laughing at you, all this garbage, all this meaningless noise and distractions. There is nothing that is going to stop me from seeing this through until, which is why I know, because I have all of my achievements of the past to substantiate this, that this university will be successful, right? Because I don't allow for an alternative. I do not have a plan B. This is going to work because I'm going to keep trying until it does. That's the secret. The secret. That's it. Life is a video game. You win, everyone wins, inevitably. Success is inevitable so long as you do not stop playing. You don't give up. You don't quit. And then every person gets to win. But people give up. They take the exit. If it's one highway to success and there's exits all around, all along the highway, you can give up and quit at any time, right? The only ones who make it are the ones who just keep going. That's it. It's a finite number. It's a finite number of steps. It's a finite number of hurdles and adversity. When a man is resolved, it's as if time and the fates conspire, as if to say, we best step aside, for we are powerless against this kind of resolve. I truthfully believe that. I truthfully believe that if you're not somebody who's just talking shit, but you're actually about it, then nothing can stop you from achieving your goal. As in, if you have the mindset, the narrative, the rhetoric, I'm going to try and persist until I succeed, No force can stop that from happening. Jim Rohn goes over this in My Philosophy for Successful Living. He was like, it doesn't matter how many birds and bugs and bees and resistance that the flower or the in your garden faces. If you just keep on persisting until you can break through any fucking resistance, so long as you have resolve. It might have been the seasons of life. Maybe I'm confusing them. Either way, let's move on. But that sentiment holds true. Any target attacked with enough action and persistence is attainable. I will persist until I succeed. And this is his quote. He says this so many times in the book. I love it. Success is your duty, obligation, responsibility. Because it's not about you. It's not about what you get. It's about who you become and what you're able to give others now that you've become more. All right. The victim. Let's see if this categorizes you. Is that a word? Characterizes. Bad things happen to them. They are always involved. They're never to blame. It's always something or someone else. So it was those 4 things and one more. Bad things happen to them. Bad things happen to them often. They're always involved. They're never to blame. It's always something or someone else. That is the victim in summary. Next, assume responsibility for everything that happens to you because life happens for you. Give yourself power to change it. And he says, don't be a little bitch. Perfect. That's what I love books like this. It's just truth. It's just truth. At some point, you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself. At some point, you have to stop being the victim. At some point, whatever tragedy or hardship that you think is so fucking unique to you, dude, everyone else in this world, in this life, in lifetimes before yours, has number 1, endured it. Number 2, other people have endured far worse, right? So, yes, you can cry for a day. Yes, it's not your fault, perhaps, what happened, the event. But you choosing not to do anything about it, that is your fault. That's a decision. That's a decision. And people don't like to hear that. People don't like to hear that your life is your fault. You deserve to be where you are. They don't, because why? That puts the burden of ownership and responsibility onto you. And that's what they don't want. And what's the victim rhetoric narrative mentality? All these bad things happen to me, but it's not my fault. But I'm always involved. And bad things always happen to me often. I'm going to continue to bitch and moan and feel sorry for myself, yet do nothing to fucking change it. Do you understand? You're not a victim. You're a hero. Rewrite your script. Next. If you want the ultimate, you have to be willing to pay the ultimate price. I just put that as a note for myself because they said in the book, you know, if you want the ultimate. And it reminded me of that movie Point Break, where it's evident with Ratlife and the cause, because I'm willing to die for this. I truthfully believe in this cause and this mission, that freedom is not privy to the special, to the elite, to the rare few, but that anyone can have their dream life. Anyone can escape. Anyone can make it, right? So whether that's your dream physique, your dream woman, traveling the world, starting your own business, your dream financial income, your dream life, it is not a privilege to the sacred few. Only the rare and the special. Fuck that. Anyone can escape. Anyone can live free. We can all fucking make it. There's enough out there for us all to win, for us all to improve and level up and grow. Life is not a zero-sum game. You winning doesn't mean I'm losing in any means of the word, right? That's a lack, a scarcity mentality. Abundance means there's enough out there for us all to win, and there really is. And so I know that my cause is just because all you have to do to verify that, to corroborate that, is look at the world that we live in today. The world is so lost. There's no masculine role models. There's no masculine leadership. You go into modern day education where teenagers are going through chemical castration. You go into the elementary schools and they're teaching sex to 5 and 6 year olds for them to have a better understanding and sympathy with trans rights. And you're just like, what the fuck is happening here? You disgusting, sick, sinister motherfuckers. What are you teaching our children, right? You look at the women today, promiscuous, independent, this empowerment, all this bullshit garbage of promiscuity, of OnlyFans, of all this fucking stupidity and degeneracy, because that's offset against the lack of masculinity. And you look at all these feminine men, all these betas, all these cucks, right? And so you look at this world of people who are so lost, young men who are made to feel toxic for having anger and fury and aggression, natural traits of having fucking testosterone. And they're living in a world where all of these media outlets are telling them something is wrong with them, right? To not go at your passion with a sense of drive and tenacity and perseverance. And that's where I believe this university comes in so perfectly, as in a world full of bullshit and full of garbage and full of scams and get rich quick and all this fucking stupidity and the cancel culture and the woke and the feminist movement and the Black Lives Matter, all this garbage. This university will be a fucking oasis, a sanctuary for the truth. And so that's how I know this is a cause I'm willing to die for, because it's predicated on freedom forever for everyone. As in, what is Ratlife? It is the key to your escape. It is the key to freedom forever. If that isn't a worthy cause, a noble pursuit, something that I'm willing to die for, I don't know what is, right? So that's why I love this. That's why this doesn't feel like an ability to do something. This feels like my responsibility to bring this to life, because I know that I can go to sleep soundly at night knowing that I'm creating something that's only good, that's only truth, that's only a benefit to young men who watch this, who from these videos start taking care of themselves, start taking pride in their appearance, start going to the gym, start taking their finances seriously, start watering their garden, start cutting the weeds out of their garden, right? Start being a better husband and boyfriend and best friend and coworker and lover, right? And brother and sister and son. I guess omit the sister part because I was talking about young men, but you get the idea. It's just, in a world full of stupidity and garbage, I'm bringing it back to what men used to be, that had character and class and integrity, and the word fucking meant something, and they had discipline and honor and pride. Lost tenets in this shit show of a world today. But I believe that life is cyclical, and I believe that in the totality of this university, you'll see those merits come back again. They'll be back in style. Once all this garbage and the stupidity ends, from hardship, from real adversity, real tragedy, what will come out of the ashes, man, are strong men. Because hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. So you're about to see us enter very, very hard times. And then the result of that, because of that hardship, because of that adversity and stress and turmoil and letdown and disappointment and death, the inevitable result is going to be men are going to be made what they used to be. And so even though this may not be popular words right now, in the long run, people are going to crave to hear this and to be a part of this, man. This is the university that you're going to want your children to enroll in, the 12 to the 17-year-old, right? Those 6 years where they can be given all of the literature of the best personal development ever written. So by the time they're 18, they're given the choice. Indoctrination into a life of perpetual slavery forever, or the key to their escape, the key to their freedom forever. So they never have to be enslaved in the first place by being given financial literacy, right? By being given all of these virtues, all of these merits, all of these golden gifts, so that by the time they're 18 and they're proposed with a hypothetical to go get student loans or a mortgage, credit card debt, or car financing, they stand guard way at the doorway of their mind. They say, no, this is all garbage. This is all a scam. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to pursue my dream life. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to go travel the world. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to pursue my passion. I'm not going to be a cog in a wheel, a rat in a maze, a fucking slave in perpetuity until I die. Fuck you. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to free the minds of the enslaved, to wake them up, and then we're trying to give the others the keys so that they never have to be enslaved in the first place, so that we can all live free forever, right? This is all about freedom. That's what Ratlife is. Freedom. All right. You aren't taking massive action. Oh, yes, I skipped one. Success is your duty, obligation, responsibility to your family, your woman, your last name, God, and everyone relying on you. That's the issue. When people say stupid shit like money doesn't matter, who are they neglecting? They're neglecting their family, their woman, they're disrespecting their last name, they're disrespecting God, and everyone relying on you. How, you might ask? How is me not pursuing my potential doing all of these people a disservice? You have all of these gifts, and you're choosing to hoard them because of your fear, selfishness, cowardice, however you want to characterize it. That was the word, right? You could be giving all of these gifts that only you have. I don't know what it is, but only you have it, right? And we all have that. Don't bullshit me. We all have something that separates us from anybody else. That nobody could do this like you can do. That's your gift to give back to the world. You pursuing your passion. Ask yourself the hypothetical. If money wasn't an issue, what would I spend my time doing? You'll find your passion within that answer. If money wasn't an issue for me, I would read. I would spend all my time reading and traveling. That's it. And then making these videos. I would do these videos for free. I'm doing these videos for free. That's how you know it's something that you're meant to do, right? Your cause, your vision, your purpose, your passion. But life, what did I say? Life is not about what you get, it's about who you become. And what you're able to give now that you've become more. So you not becoming more is you making the conscious decision to give less to who? To your family, to your woman. Disrespecting your fucking last name, your ancestors who died from the plague, from running, Andrew says it, from running from saber-toothed tigers just for your ass to be born and to go jack off to Pornhub. What a fucking waste. And what disrespect to all the people who came before you for you to waste away your fucking life, right? A disrespect to God who gave you all of these gifts. And everyone who's fucking relying on you. But while you, and I even said this to myself, I even said this in the last lecture, that I have the potential to give abundantly to dozens of people. Any neglect, any procrastination, any of that forfeiture, that's all of these other people's lives made worse because of me, right? Because of me. Because I could make their life so much fucking better, but I'm choosing not to. If I were to go down that path, but I'm not. Because I harbor that perspective, right? That I know I could better these people's lives. Therefore, it's not my ability, it's my duty, responsibility, obligation to pursue. To have the courage to pursue. All right. You aren't taking massive action until you're creating new problems. Got it? You aren't taking massive action until you're creating new problems. As in, you can't get to the good problems until you're taking more action. Story. I had a client once named Kathleen. Came into her workout session noticeably upset. What's wrong, Kathleen? The dock that I had my second yacht on reserved, and I'm having issues with it. You understand. And I said, oh, Kathleen, I just hate it when the dock for my second yacht is just reserved. It's just the worst. Point is, that's a personal problem for her, right? That comes from taking massive action to create that life. Or to marry rich, I don't know. But the point is that you can't get to those good problems until you get to the next level. And as soon as you get to the next level, you're going to endure new problems. When I created the supplement company, do you think I knew how to create a label? Do you think I knew the difference between RGB and CMYK? Do you think I knew how to, get a vendor? Do you think I knew how to purchase all of the bottle, the lid, that it needs a sealer in order for it to not cake, that it needs silica gel packet for it to not cake, that the scoop size, that we bought the wrong scoops the first time, that you need not it was like 20 ounces or whatever, no, we need the 16 or not the 25, but we need the 20 ounce scoops. Do you think I knew any of that shit? No. But we'll go over this in this lecture. Commit first, figure it out later. You're gonna find new problems. You can't know the how in foresight. Let go of that. You have to have the courage to pursue prior to knowing all of the information in any endeavor you embark on, because you can war game it to the end of time, right? But there are going to be problems that you do not foresee. There's going to be this sale that you don't get. There's going to be this family problem that you have to endure. There's going to be a 2-year tyrannical oppression where they got to pick and choose who could have their businesses stay open. We were forced to wear bullshit for something that had a 99.7% or 99.9% survival rate. Complete fucking utter garbage that everybody in fear and manipulation got their vaccine, got their booster shot. That's the importance of standing guard at the doorway of your mind. Do you understand? So the next time they come out with that garbage, you just say, go fuck yourself. But that's a complete aside. But the point is, you're gonna have hardship and adversity and problems that you cannot predict or foresee. So you can't know the how and foresight. You have to have the courage to take action, to take massive action, but have peace of mind knowing that you're on the right path. That when you get new problems, new opportunities, because that's all they are. Crisis and opportunity are one and the same. Problems are an opportunity. If you have a customer problem, that's an opportunity to mend, to create a relationship with that customer, to exalt world-class customer service onto them. Do you understand? It's an opportunity to give to them, to over-deliver, to give abundantly. That's a future lifetime client. That's a future referral. That's a future testimonial. Do you understand? It's an opportunity. All of your problems are. Your problems are also an opportunity for you to level up and for you to grow. You tell God, I want to become stronger. No problem. Here's resistance. Here's struggle. Here's hardship. Here's adversity. Because that is the necessary catalyst for you to grow, for you to become stronger. Life happens for you, not to you. Understand that. Next. It's a sign you're taking massive action. Also, another sign is when people begin commenting upon and admiring your level of activity. Very, very good. No new problems equals not taking enough action. So if you're not creating new problems for yourself, you're not taking enough action. Next. You're also taking massive action when you start to receive criticism and warning from others. I find that to be very, very true. So, say yes to every opportunity. Oh, well, I put opportunity, in parentheses, but he talks about an audition, right? And his wife was an actress, and this is the advice that he gave her. Say yes to every audition, and I put to every interview, because that's how it applies to me. But then I put in parentheses every opportunity, because then it applies to everyone. Say yes to every opportunity, regardless if you are prepared or whether you think the part is right for you. It's better to suck and be seen and gain practice and experience than not to be seen at all. And then she's like, but what if I bomb? Maybe they won't pick you for the part you went up for, but we'll see that you're perfect for another part, right? And Greg Plitt talks about this, that if you don't go to the audition, it's a guaranteed no. And I said this in the last video. If you don't try, your slavery is guaranteed. But at least if you try it, at least if you have the courage to be the man in the arena, then there's a fucking chance, right? For you to be free, for you to escape, for you to make it. But if you don't, if you're standing, paralysis by analysis, cowardice as one of the fucking spectators, too much of a pussy to go into the arena and try, your slavery is guaranteed. Do you understand? You won't get the part. You won't get the job. You won't get the audition or the role. It's only if you have the courage to try, to go for it, do you have a chance at achieving it. That has to make sense. So I've always seen it, especially when it comes to dating. It's a good example. It's already a no. If you don't go up to that girl that you find attractive or tell this person how you feel, it's already a no. What do you have to lose by going for it if this is already the reality? It's an asymmetrical risk reward. It's only net positive. What is it going to be? It's either going to be a no or it's going to be a yes. But it's already a no if I don't go, if I don't tell them how I feel. And then separate yourself from them. How are you going to feel about yourself if I lack the courage to pursue, to try? Doesn't matter if it's a girl, if it's a business you want to start, if it's a YouTube channel that you want to create, whatever it is. Who am I when I look at myself in the mirror? I'm the guy who quits. I'm the guy who fucking has the courage to go for it no matter what, right? Solidify that as your self-image, and then what can't you accomplish? What can't you achieve, right? If when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're just like, of course I can fucking do it, because my name is Tarek Haux. Next. Maybe, we said that. The goal is to be seen, thought of, considered. Your problem is obscurity, not talent. In order for the endeavor to work for you, you have to make constant, relentless effort. Until. It's a secret word, until. Massive action will always help you, so that when people think of your product, service, or industry, they think of you. In the future, I want my name synonymous with discipline, work ethic, the truth. That's pretty much it. That's what I want my name synonymous with. Tarek Haux. When I go to him, he's not going to bullshit me. He's going to tell me straight. He's going to speak to me with honesty, with courage, with candor, with respect, consideration, courtesy, but he's going to speak the fucking truth. And that's what this university is predicated on. Discipline, principle, merit, the truth. That's it. No bullshit, no fads, no get this quick. No. Nothing to get out of the work. Do you understand? Whether that's the work of your business, the work of your physique, the work of your financial growth and prosperity and your relationships, the work of betterment, of your inner work, of healing, everything that requires humility. Humility. That forces you to cast your ego aside, right? Things that take strength, courage, and humility that most people don't have. That's what this university and my name are synonymous with. The fucking truth. Nice. At least that's what I'm going to work every day to create that reputation for myself, if I don't have it already. Next. And I also find that if you're just honest, that's the easiest way to bridge the gap. If you're just honest, open, and transparent, then people can open up to you. And I find that anytime that I've traveled, anytime that I've had those heartfelt conversations with people, people feel so safe having discords with me because I make it so effortless for them to feel safe by how much I open up. And I think I learned that in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's just, if you're honest, if you open up about your own flaws and insecurities and things that you've been through, people are so much more inclined to feel safe talking to you because they know that upon sharing things that they're insecure about or whatever, they know they're not going to be judged because you open up out of the gate with, yeah, dude, this was when I was homeless, living in my car. These are when I was overdosing on drugs. It's like when you can just show your hand without fear of judgment, criticism, ridicule from others, people are just like, it's so much easier to develop rapport, to develop trust with someone because they don't have an ulterior motive. You know that all they have is your best interest at heart, right? And what do you have to lose by just being open and honest? If anything, he could probably change your life, which is exactly what happens when people have the courage to let go, to put their walls down, to have just an honest conversation. Magic happens as soon as you let go. Next. All right. Making massive action a discipline will break you through obscurity, increase your value to the marketplace, and help you generate success in any endeavor you choose to pursue. And I underlined any endeavor. I underlined the word endeavor. As in, if you take massive action towards your business, any endeavor you choose to pursue, you'll generate success. If you take massive action towards a woman that you want to pursue, inevitable success, which he goes over it. That's exactly the story of his wife. He was rejected by his wife for it was 13 months that he called her. It was every 2 weeks or tried to until he got his first date. It's I will persist until I succeed. That level of certainty, conviction, it's so cool that if you just don't give up, that you can have anything and anybody that you want. It's awesome. Next. Anything that you give only average amounts of attention to will start to subside and will eventually cease to exist. And I made a list. If you apply that to your relationship, if you don't water it, it'll die. If you don't tend to your physique, your diet, your training consistency, it'll regress. Your finances, what you don't measure, you can't improve, right? Your business, your personal development, if you don't water your garden, if you don't prune it, if you don't fertilize it, if you don't give it sun and water, and warmth, nourishment, beauty, it's going to die. There's going to be weeds, there's going to be pests, there's going to be disease and parasites, right? It is up to you to be the gardener, right? To be the gardener of your own garden, of your own life. Cut the fat, not just out of your body, cut the fat out of your life, dude. And that's in the form of friendships and family and negativity and gossip on the radio and the celebrity bullshit and the social media and the dopamine flooding of scrolling. Get all the garbage out of your beautiful garden. You understand? That's the other thing that I'm doing with this university is this is my garden. You know, this is my garden that I'm creating and building. And I'm just trying to create a garden that's so beautiful and inviting by all of this literature being nothing but yes and growth and development and success and improvement and healing. I don't want any negativity, any excuses, any victims, any depressed, get the fuck out of here. This is a beautiful garden where all we do is improve. All we do is heal. All we do is grow. All we do is try to level up to become better, right? Selfless, heroes, because we know that by us improving and leveling up, everyone in our life benefits from it. That's what we're here. That's what we're about. Making a beautiful garden. Need 10x level of thoughts and actions. Yes. Rid yourself of everything that is average, including the advice you get, the friends you keep. That was the decision I made, not on my own accord, but as a consequence of hitting rock bottom last year, is I cut all of the weeds out of my fucking garden. I didn't give a fuck who they were. I was like, you do not have access to me anymore. Whether that's in social media, whether you've had my phone number, whether you've known me for years, whether you're family. I said, if you don't invite positivity, growth, encouragement, support, the word yes, you are the fuck out of my life. If you do not have a life that I want, if you're not somebody who motivates and inspires me, if you're not somebody who, there's a really good meme that it's like, if they don't give you inspiration, income, or orgasms, they do not belong in your life. And it's a crude statement, but it's quite true. If they don't add, if they don't make you want to be better, if they don't make you want to grow and level up, but it's the be carefuls and the criticism and the put downs and the name calling I said, get the fuck out of here. This is where I'm going. And all of the losers and all of the drug addict friends and I have a prostitute friend, I had a prostitute neighbor, the alcoholics, the fucking stupid losers that I surrounded myself by. What was I becoming as a result? You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I've curated my reality now, where I don't tolerate any of that shit. I'm like, this is too important, because this is no longer just about me. And I understand that if I don't curate my reality, that's selfish to the people I say I care about, because I'm choosing to invite stupidity and drug addicts and alcoholics into my fucking garden. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I'm choosing to become one of these fucking people. How do I explain that to my future woman? How do I explain that to my family? How do I explain that to the people who are relying on me, right? I can't, because I'm not a selfish motherfucker. So because I'm so selfless, I have to say, get the fuck out of my garden. But you don't have to say that, you just cut them off. As much as it hurts, as much as you're gonna be alone, as much as the notifications on my phone that I do not get, what would you rather have? A life of guaranteed perpetual slavery, or having such a beautiful garden where now, and only now, it has the fertility to grow and to create something beautiful and magical. And there's a good quote. It's from a picture where it starts to rain on a flower, and then the next scene is it's beautiful, and it says, "This isn't what I wanted, but maybe it's what I needed." Okay. So rid yourself of the advice, the be carefuls, what about this, you shouldn't do this. Get the fuck out of here. And friends. The hardest thing for you guys to do. Oh no, I have to live with them, right? Oh no, they're my family. Oh no, it's my coworker. No. You could get a new job. You could get a new place. You can move out of the fucking state. Put the burden of ownership and responsibility onto you. Okay. Food for thought. Or do nothing and stay the same. Failure to think big enough equals you will never act big enough, often enough, persistently enough. You need excitement and enthusiasm towards your goal and the future payout to persevere. It's so true. If you don't have excitement or enthusiasm to get up in the morning, to conquer, to kill it, you'll be operating on this level of action. But if you're very, very excited, not only do you, I read it right here, excitement and enthusiasm will keep you consistent and give you the strength to overcome life and your path's tests and inevitable adversity. As in, if you don't have something compelling, a strong enough why, you'll get caught up in the day-to-day struggle. You'll get caught up in the day-to-day hardship and adversity. You'll get so buried into the trees that you can't see the forest. That's why it's so important to not lose sight of the horizon, the finish line. Have a compelling why, a compelling future, right? That makes it so you smile amongst the storm of today, that you say, do your worst, for I will do mine. All right. Write down your goals every day. Choose objectives that are just out of reach, not out of sight. Write specifically in the present tense. I own, I earn, I drive, etc. The importance of that is it's a goal-setting fundamentality that ties in with your identity. As in, we will do anything in your mind will do anything to work to substantiate what you say you are. That's why it's so important. I told you guys in one of our earlier books to remove INTIRED from your vocabulary. Because as soon as that is no longer an option, then you no longer can be that. So you don't say stupid shit like I'm TIRED, I'm broke, I'm stupid, not even in jest. Your mind can't fucking differentiate the two. Instead, you say things like, if you say a future truth, for example, I am a millionaire, and your mind is like, no, you're not. No, I'm not yet. But then it's going to go to work even as you sleep. Your subconscious will work to prove, substantiate, corroborate your claim of what your identity is. So if you say anything that's empowering, right? This is the car I drive. I own this. I earn this. I am this. Uplifting, empowering, strong, all of the good things that you want to be, even if it's a lie you have to tell yourself at the start. It's a present lie, but it's a future truth. I learned that from Patrick Bet-David. So that's the importance of why people do present tense goal setting when they do their writing of their goals. Is I drive this, I earn this, I own this. Because then your mind will start to go to then your mind will start, the card was full. Then your mind will start going to work, excuse me, for you to realize your identity. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Next. I gotta make sure that these are the SD cards. It was full, but it's a good thing that I have many of them. I have many 128 gigs. All right, we're almost done. And then these were his goals. Oh no, these were mine. Should I read them? I own a beautiful home with land in Europe. I press the 150s. My net worth is over $1 million. My income is over $100,000 a month. I have written and published 3 books. I have a thriving university. I am married to the woman of my dreams. I have 2 beautiful children, Alice and Henry. I have no debt. I own my dream gym. I have endless energy and love for my purpose, Ratlife. I am aligned and in harmony with my true self. I love myself completely. I am surrounded by people who love, adore, admire, honor, cherish, and respect me absolutely. I'm a man amongst men. I'm a billionaire. The bigger, so those were all the ones that I wrote. Present lies, perhaps future truths. The bigger and more aligned to your purpose your goals are, the more they'll energize and fuel your actions. And it's very, very true. And this ties in with the success cycle, as in, I'll read it again. The bigger and more aligned to your purpose your goals are, the more they'll energize and fuel your actions. If you believe something is gonna work, you'll tap into more of your potential, you'll take more action, you'll get more results. Your confidence in your ability will go up from the results that you get. And so that's the importance of aligning your purpose and your goals. Because if it's something that you can get excited about and you're enthused about, the work won't feel like work, and then you'll be able to put way more what other people will conceive as or perceive as unrealistic or obsessive hours. But to you, it's just play. To you, it's your passion. You understand? So that's the importance of that. The more they'll energize and fuel your actions. Stack little victories. Build the necessary confidence to fight bigger bosses. Very true. Goals fuel actions you need to take. They do. Notes from 4 years ago. I wrote this in this book. This was the book that I had 4 years ago when I read it for the first time. This was the question in the exercise. What are some goals you would set if you knew you could achieve them? And I put, be a millionaire, find and have a queen. And I said, I changed that to of today. I said, I am a billionaire. I found my queen. She's mine. It's so cool. And I think Jim Rohn says this, the importance of keeping a journal is you get to look back to see what you wrote and what your goals were and what your priorities were of your younger self. So I would highly recommend it. I'd highly recommend keeping a journal. But that's what it's so cool when you get to look back on it to see what your goals were, what your mindset was, what your vision was, how big your sight was. And I can only see about becoming a millionaire 4 years ago. But it's like, no, I'm going to be a billionaire through the totality of this quest. So I love that. Again, present lie, future truth. Next. The message you want to send to the marketplace through your persistent action is, no one can keep up with me. I'm not going away. I'm not a competitor. I am the space. I fucking love that. That's the importance of when a man is resolved. It's as if time and the fates conspire as if to say, we best step aside, for we are powerless against this kind of resolve. Obscurity is your only problem. Other people don't know you and aren't thinking about you. Focus on creating income in excess of what you need. This is a problem you'll find with entrepreneurship that I learned firsthand, is people work only as hard as urgency demands. And I would only do whatever it took and be very resourceful when it comes to generating enough sales to cover my overhead expenses. But beyond that, I left my foot off the gas. And this is actually the importance of spreading yourself thin, because, and I think he says it later on, that creativity and resourcefulness comes right after necessity. So you find that with parenting. When you have kids that you need to provide for, you'll figure out how to feed and clothe them. You'll find a way, because now you have the urgency that demands that. It's the same sentiment. So next, build a fire so big or a garden so beautiful, people feel compelled to sit around it in admiration. Yes, I love that. It's what we're doing right now. See your action through to your reward. And I put Tustin, which is the place that I'm trying to get hired at, Ratlife, and then I put my woman. See your action through to your reward. I will persist until I succeed. Nice. You can always go all in again. All in with your efforts, creativity, energy, ideas, resourcefulness, and persistence. You can always go all in. I was just looking to see how bright it was outside, because my good friend and present roommate, Mr. Ricardo, is outside waiting for me to finish this, and I'm taking a lot of time. So I kind of feel bad, but that's okay. We're gonna keep on keeping on. We'll apologize later. You can always go all in. And you'll find it's not a lack of resources that's ever the problem, it's a lack of resourcefulness. Energy, thought, idea, creativity. My friend who's here, Ricardo, I was like, you need to come out with an ebook just so you can understand how to make money online. That is just a thought or idea and effort. And then you can literally get money out of nothing but time and energy and effort. And then he did. He launched his ebook just Sunday, and now he's on his 7th or 8th sale. And I was like, that's all it is. That's all entrepreneurship is. Once you understand that, then generating money, earning money online, all of a sudden it becomes tangible and real. Once you do it once, then you're just like, I can do this, I can repeat this process. I can do it again. And then you learn so much. That's the coolest thing about entrepreneurship. You learn prospecting, you learn how to gain leads, you learn about marketing, you learn about building value, you learn about sales, bookkeeping, web page design, just how to create an ebook, how to how to payment processing. Are you going to use Stripe? Are you going to use PayPal? He used Gumroad for the ebook platform. It's just, you learn so much about yourself and your ability and your potential and your resourcefulness from entrepreneurship that you're robbed of in the 9-to-5. Because when you get the check, right? When you are spoon-fed the scraps of safety, all of that is forfeited. It's the importance of you, and again, not being coddled, is you get the beauty and the gift of discovering what it is that you are capable of. And then most people, unfortunately, tragically, will never get to experience that beauty. Okay, you have unlimited resources. As many times as you want, you can keep going all in. You never have anything to lose. You have unlimited resources to give it your all the next time. Commit first, figure it out, how to deliver later. And that's exactly the mindset that I've had any endeavor I've ever pursued on. I will figure it out. When the world was closed because of this bullshit made up garbage, I booked a one-way flight to Albania. be careful, don't do this, worry about that. I said, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna figure it the fuck out when I get there. People hate to hear that. Why? Because they hate to see courage and courageous pursuits amidst their cowardice, amidst their paralysis by analysis of their wargaming it. They don't like to hear the person who can't explain to them the how in foresight, but who's just gonna figure it out. Because that is just a mirror to them. When they see you pursue, they see what they could do, what they could have done, but they were too much of a pussy to try. So then you get the criticism from them, right? The hate, the envy, the whatever. When all it is just a reflection, dude. Greg Plitt says it, your success is like a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunity. Where opportunity was presented and you decided to be the man in the arena, have the courage to pursue, and they stood idle. Cowardice. Don't be that guy. Commit first, figure it out later. And this works with entrepreneurship. When you launch a product, you'll figure it out later. Launch the product, and I told Ricardo, launch it before you even have it. I did online coaching before I even had a product, and it was Hannah. I don't want to give her full name, but Hannah was I'll write this one day, if it's a book or something that I'm working on, that she was the person who I knew from that one sale of online coaching when I was just an idea, a thought, just not even conceptualized, that I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And now I'm going to be a billionaire one day. I said, you can just sell an idea to someone and they'll give you money. And then I work to deliver it afterwards, because it was like, I can do the entire transformation process for you. I can write your meals, I can calculate your macros, I can write your training program, I can do your supplements, your cardio protocol, I can do all of it for you and get you in the best shape of your life. I was like, trust me. She was like, I trust you. Here's money. And I said, whoa. I said, I didn't have a Google sheet, I didn't have anything written down, I didn't have a training program, it was just all an idea. And that's the beauty when it comes to entrepreneurship or anything. It's just creativity. It's just effort. It's just thoughts. That's it. And then all of it is just made up that you can then monetize. It's just you have value and gifts that you can just give others and then earn from it. And then it's not about what I get, it's about what I can give others now that I've become more. Beautiful. Commit first, figure it out later. Homework. There's a homework assignment to this book. Memorize, because I made this was one of the hardest failures that I ever did. Hardest failures. It's taken me, I don't have all of the debt paid off yet, and it's been nearly 3 years. And I lived in my car for 93 days of it. Do not overestimate the amount of support you're going to get. Do not underestimate the amount of work it's going to take, or the amount of adversity you will face. Memorize that, memorize that, memorize that, so you don't have to endure the hardship and failure to learn. Don't overestimate the amount of support you're going to get. If you're going to launch a product for the first time, expect no one to give a fuck about it. When you post it on your story and that's it, they're tapping through. You're talking, selling it, they have you muted. They're watching it while they're at work. Don't overestimate the amount of support you're going to get. Everybody else has a life, has stresses, has bills, has responsibilities that are not you. Your job is to build the value of it, so then they have an urgency and priority when it comes to spending their discretionary income, right? Whose fault is that? Yours, if they don't buy it, because you didn't build the value of it. Put the burden of ownership and responsibility onto you by memorizing this. Don't overestimate the amount of support you're going to get. Don't underestimate the amount of work it's going to take or the amount of adversity that you will face. In terms of no, rejection, I told Ricardo, I said, you know what a good conversion rate is in sales? 2%. That's a good conversion rate. As in, for every 100 people, 100 prospects, you get 2 yeses and 98s. Fuck off. Or ghosts, or left unseen, or just flat out no. I said, and you learn this in The Greatest Salesman in the World. Entrepreneurship, the hardest thing you will ever do in your entire life. To where, like me now, when you go back to working at 9 to 5, it's a joke. It's a joke. Comparatively. It's ridiculous. People get their cortisol raised from an email. It's like, you don't know what hardship is. You don't know what resourcefulness is. You don't know the stress of your rent is on the line. You're about to be homeless. You don't know where your next meal is going to come from. That's when you find out if you're about it. And so when you have that level of work ethic and discipline and perseverance and strength, and then you apply it to a fucking office job, dude, it's impossible not to excel and not to dominate. It's just... oh, I love it. Next, repeat attacks over extended periods of time will always be successful. Repeated attacks over extended periods of time will always be successful. I love that idea. If I just don't give up, if I just continue to persist, I will succeed. Never stop adding wood to your fire. And I put hashtag 25 years. And he said in the book, burn the place down. And the analogy is don't stop taking action. Add wood to your fire to make it so big and so beautiful that people feel compelled to go over it for warmth and for admiration. Go over to it in admiration by you just taking massive action. Next. Once you see results, once you start winning, it'll feel easy and natural to continue taking massive action. You'll want to, once you see the possibilities, once you have belief it's possible, then more becomes possible. And it's so true. And it's just the success cycle that I explained. You'll become obsessed to reach new levels. Because of course, if you're winning, just like when you finally see progress in your physical transformation, what's the rhetoric? I'm going in the right direction. It's working. If I keep doing this, and if I take more action, I'll get even better results, and I'll even get them faster. And that's how the success is an upward spiral. So now I'm not going to the gym once a week, I'm going to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm doing cardio, and I'm about my supplements, and I'm prioritizing sleep, and I've cut out alcohol. I'm taking all this massive action, now I'm getting massive results. Do you understand? So you'll become obsessed to reach new goals. Once you start to see your hard work reflected in the mirror, then you'll say, what more am I capable of? What more can I achieve? What am I holding my back from that I don't need to? What am I afraid of? Do you understand? That's the sentiment of that. And he said it's like a flywheel. And that's the secret. Belief, potential, action, results over time, like a flywheel, until. You'll be met with slow down. Have you done enough? You need to take a vacation. He said now is not the time for rest and celebration. It's time for more action. Fucking love it. And it's to that quote. I want to say it one more time so I remember it. And it's the mentality that you need to have. If I can, these Harry Potter pages are so thick. No one can keep up with me. I'm not going away. I'm not a competitor. I am the space. Love that. And he says in this book, your idea is not to compete, it's to dominate. Nice. Fear is the great indicator to take action. And then one of the next books in the next semester that we're going to read is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And the premise of it is in the title, is take action. Take action now. Take action immediately. And he says it right here. Act now. And I put cold water. That was a homework assignment from a previous book. End your shower on the coldest setting. Condition your mind to be the slave and not the master. You're the master. As in what I say is, what I say goes. It'll condition you to attack fear. And so there's no delay between when you think it, when you say it, and when you do it. So the great indicator is then if you have fear, the best way to kill fear is right when it hits. Because the way that you allow fear to grow is by giving it time. Just like the only way for a fire to exist is by giving it oxygen. The space you give fear is just that oxygen that you're giving a fire. I love that illustration. So he says, act now. The best way to kill fear is to starve it of time. Time for fear is like oxygen for fire. Remove/starve it of one, and the other ceases to exist. I love that idea. So fear is the indicator that, number one, you're going in the right direction. You should have dreams and goals that scare you, that you don't know how it's going to be done, right? That are out of reach, not out of sight, and that force you to grow and level up and become more. And the best way you kill fear is to attack it. And if you condition that courage muscle, then people will see you as fearless. But they'll see you with perseverance, man. Somebody who just has the courage to go for it. Because you know it's not courage, because you know you have nothing to lose. But to them it's courage. But that is an illusion that it's undertoned that there's a potential loss. But what do you have to lose by trying ever? What do you have to lose by telling a person how you feel? Ever. Nothing. No one. Never. Next. Criticism is part of the success cycle. Criticism precedes admiration, and it follows action. So it's not belief, potential, action, results over time until. It's belief, and then I put laughter, potential, and I put hate, action, criticism, results, admiration. And I really like that. Over time until. Nice. Make it a goal to be omnipresent. be everywhere. Again, your problem isn't your product or service, it's obscurity. Nobody knows who you are. My current platform. So right now, we're doing YouTube, we're doing Rumble, we're doing Spotify for podcasters, we're doing Apple Podcast, and then it's also on Amazon Music. It's also on, I have it listed on my phone. Dude, we are dominating. I also have it on Google Drive, and then nice. Rumble, Spotify for podcasters, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Google Drive, and YouTube. We are brick by brick. All the long format content all over, and I love that, to be omnipresent, to be everywhere. And I'm just right now omitting from doing YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reels because that is kind of counterintuitive for what I'm preaching, which is not the get rich quick, not the clickbait, not this bullshit. Even though that they all drive traffic incredibly, I want long format content. I love doing these long lectures because this is where the value is, this is where the gold is. And most people that watch and are in the dopamine flood of the stupid fucking 15-second reels and clickbait and all this stupid bullshit, then it's that race to the bottom where I need to grab your attention. I need to, do act like a clown in order to elicit that attention. I have no interest in that. So right now I'm just focusing on the long format content because then I'm laying beautiful bricks and I'm planting beautiful seeds in my beautiful garden. Nice. The more you win results in life, the higher your potential will be, and the more you will grow to love challenges and level up even more. It's just a success cycle, man. If something doesn't end up supporting me, I simply persist until, with so much success, that any remaining resistance will cease to exist. Very true. Last pages. And then let me reread that part just so I have one more. Knowledge is, if something doesn't end up supporting me, I simply persist until, with so much success, that any remaining resistance will cease to exist. Again, it doesn't matter how much resistance, adversity, or struggle. It is as if the time and faith conspire when a man is resolved, as if to say, we best step aside, for we are powerless against this kind of resolve. As in, there is no amount of resistance that will stop you from your goal if you have the courage to pursue until. Okay. Successful people assume that their future achievements rely on investing in actions that may not pay off today, but that when taken consistently and persistently over time will sooner or later bear fruit. That's exactly what I'm doing with all of the long format content. None of them are monetized. I'm not getting paid through YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, but I believe that one day I will on all of them. By planting these seeds right now and by watering them and by being consistent and persistent over time until. Nice. Commit fully as though you are already successful. I love that. Expect success. That's what they said in Monk, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, is expect the best, expect to win. And why? What happens is if you commit fully as though you are already successful, you go in with maximum belief to tap the greatest initial potential. So when I say belief, potential, action, results over time until, if you go in like you're gonna win, certainty, right? Commit fully, as though you're already successful, your belief will be the highest. So therefore, from the jump, you can tap into the most amount of your potential, and then you'll take the most amount of action, so you'll get the most results, which will then give you the most amount of momentum when you begin that success cycle. Okay, we're almost done. Make action a habit. Discipline yourself to eat that frog, to perform now, not later, and I assure you that the volume of endeavors you are undertaking will quickly increase the quality of work and propel you to move with enhanced conviction and certainty. And I put it in my notes, and it was so cool because I was like, I wanted to catalog what I was doing. So I had semester 1, we did Ratlife University just on YouTube. Semester 2, Ratlife University on YouTube, Google Drive, Rumble, Spotify for Podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Ratlife University apparel, I got the sweatshirt, garden, I put all friends, family, I listed all the people who I love, apartment that I'm building right now, this garden, Instagram that I've cleaned the garden of, ×2, Ratlife's Instagram and my own, and then just build the garden of my YouTube. It's clean. Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other ones, Google Drive, WhatsApp, I cleaned up in terms of friends, messages, my picture, LinkedIn. That was semester 2. And then semester 3, all the things that I'm going to be doing, semester 4, 5. And so that quote is so true, that if you discipline yourself to eat the frog, to perform now, not later, I assure you that the volume of endeavors that you're undertaking will quickly increase the quality of work and propel you to move with an enhanced conviction and certainty. As in, the more you do, the more you'll want to do. The more you win, the more you'll want to do to want to win even more, and then the more you'll win even more and more and more. It's an upward spiral that comes from massive action. And the excitement and enthusiasm that comes from you seeing your vision come to life. And it's so cool because, dude, this university is finite. This 25-year Noble Quest, 1,000 books, 100 semesters is finite. Book number 15 right now, finite number. Do you understand? So gaining momentum, and it's just like, this is what we're able to do by book 15. What are we going to be able to do by book 30 or book 70 or book 100? It's very, very exciting because I could be severely underestimating the amount of amazing that we'll be able to do in the totality of this quest. I may be underestimating myself. Maybe a billionaire is a little too little. Maybe that's we need a more steep of an ask. Maybe there's a trillionaire with a Tark with a T. You never know. All right. Creativity and problem solving, resourcefulness are stimulated only after a person fully commits. It's so true. You will not find out how resourceful you are until you go all in, until you burn your boats, right? Until it's do or die. And for some people that takes having a kid. So now we have the urgency. For some people it takes quitting their job, cashing out their retirement, all things that I did, going all in. You'll quickly discover how resourceful you'll become, how resourceful you are when necessity demands it. When you don't know where you're gonna get your next meal from, when you don't know how you're gonna pay rent. Always do everything you can to bring the rest of the team to higher levels. It was a note that I wrote, or that I took down 4 years ago in my other journal, and because I remember that, writing it on another piece of paper that I kept with me. I was like, bring the whole team up, level the whole team up. And I love that with Ricardo being here right now with me for the next 5 more months, that's exactly what I'm doing with him. I see him as someone who I get to mentor and someone who I get to plant trees under whose shade I will never sit, by helping him with entrepreneurship, helping him with independence, helping him become a great young man, helping him with, ebook and just earning money online, and watering his garden by being in this curated reality of nothing but betterment and growth and success and literature and personal development. It's just an environment of yes and improvement and healing and growth and winning and success. And I love it so much. And so always do everything you can to bring the rest of your team to higher levels. You have to interact with people who are better than you. It's the only way you become better. So true. When you play a video game, you only get better playing against other players. When you play a sport, you only get better competing against other players. When you want to earn more money, you only get better by having other people. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I know I'm going to be earning 6 figures very soon because all I do at work is surround myself with the leadership who earn 6 figures. Or north of 6 figures. So by the law of averages, you will level up just by being in the room, in the vicinity of that. But you have to interact with people who are better than you. It's the only way to become better yourself. It's the importance of you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Quit surrounding yourself with fucking idiots and losers and drug addicts and alcoholics just for the sake of friends. Just because that he's funny when he's drunk. Ha ha ha. I was that guy who did that. Get the fuck out of here, dude. We have work to do. Nice. And we have a dream to come to fruition. We have a vision now. We have sights, right? We have the sense of urgency because we understand it's not about what I get or what I can create. It's about what I can give to other people by me becoming more, by me bringing this to life. Nice. Now we have a selfless lens. Okay. Show up, be all in, and trust that creativity follows commitment. Completely true. Stay focused on the future, be unreasonable about it, continue to add wood, and don't focus on what people say has been done, can be done, or is possible. Arnold says the exact same thing in one of his speeches. Ignore the critics, ignore the naysayers, and just have your vision and have the belief and the courage to pursue. Always go all in with massive action, consistently and persistently until. And that's book number 15. So I love it. I love this book specifically because, again, I got to learn all of it the first time, but learn it just to learn the words. But again, I think I got this from Jim Rohn. Learning isn't necessarily learning something new, but it's learning to behave in a way that we didn't previously behave. And so I learned the hard way your one homework assignment, which is to memorize that. Don't overestimate the amount of work it's going to take. Don't underestimate the amount of results, the amount of support you're going to get. And I'm losing it. It's late. It's past my bedtime. Don't overestimate the amount of support you're going to get. Don't underestimate the amount of work it's going to take. Don't underestimate the amount of adversity you're going to face. Memorize that as your homework assignment. And it's so true. I had to learn that the hard way. And my hard way, but I consider it my hero's journey, where I lived in my car for 93 days, where I came to this apartment afterwards. I had a drug overdose on mushrooms, and it was the second closest from my heart palpitations that I ever got to that I thought I was going to die. And all of these things, man, I love it as a part of my story of my hero's journey. But I'm sharing them with you because for that same sentiment that you only learn things the hard way or the hardest possible way. You don't have to learn it the hardest way that I did. You don't have to live in your car for 93 days for me to teach you. Don't start a business on a loan. Don't overestimate the amount of support you're going to get. Don't underestimate the amount of work it's going to take. Don't underestimate the amount of adversity that you're going to face. Don't view adversity as something that's happening to you. It's happening for you. Problems are one and the same of opportunity if you view it as that in that lens. So I hope you guys enjoyed the lecture. Book number 15 of this noble quest, Ratlife. Within it, Ratlife University, the 10x rule. Remember, what is Ratlife? Anyone can escape. It starts with belief and the courage to pursue. There's Ratlife. We are all gonna make it.